Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we are going to be talking about Cloud9. We are going to be talking about their top laner, Fudge. Now, obviously, this guy has been one of the most talked about people in the League of Legends community, or in the LCS community, I guess, recently, because there's just been so much to say about him. You know, he came in to the scene with a lot of hype. He did really, really well in the Academy League last year. He was going to be on a team with an insane fan base, a team with a lot of hope and a lot of hype surrounding them this year. Obviously, with Perks coming in, he's replacing Licorice. There's all these storylines. And then Fudge comes in talking trash about all the other North American top laners, or all the top laners in the LCS currently, not necessarily just the North American ones. Saying that they have no brains, that they're super bad. He's going to come in and clap everybody. And obviously in the lock-in tournament, that did not necessarily happen. Now, obviously, he started to rebound a little bit towards the end of the lock-in tournament. He's had a good start to the LCS season so far. And now we're getting to hear from him again. In this video today, we're going to be going over his most recent interview with Travis Gafford. And then also just kind of talking about how things have been going for Fudge and how things are going to continue to go for both Fudge and Cloud9 going forward in the future. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you have not already, please take a second, really, really fast, and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It really is one of the best ways to help support my channel and help support my content if you are interested in doing that. Also, make sure you're subscribed if you are not already, because that would be really, really awesome, and it helps you guys stay up to date on all my latest content, because we got a ton of awesome videos coming your way real soon. Also, the green screen is picking up my shirt. It's clearly orange. I don't know why my shoulder's going to be going in and out, but hopefully that doesn't bother you too much. With that being said, let's get right into this. This is on the Travis Gafford YouTube channel. He's been putting out a ton of great content lately, a lot of great interviews, just as always. This video is titled Fudge on Getting Hard Flamed by Analysts and the Community, and why he will keep trash talking anyway. So obviously, again, coming in the season, he was trash talking a lot. He got a lot of trash talk back, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I know there's a lot of people like, oh, stop flaming Fudge. Don't, leave him alone. Don't bully him. And again, harassment, bullying is way different than just kind of, taking some jabs at him, telling him, I don't know, just whatever. I mean, you don't want to go too far, but analyzing the game is another thing, and also just memeing some people who have very clearly been memeing other people, I don't think is that bad either. Yes, some people did go over the line, but just, you can still say some stuff. We're still fans of the game. We're still all very invested in this. We still want to see our favorite teams and favorite players doing well. And Fudge understands that too, but I did think this is interesting, just kind of getting his take on everything. Travis does ask him just about kind of how the LCS lock-in tournament went, so let's see what he has to say, and then we'll go from there. I'll be pausing it throughout, and we can figure some stuff out.
Because do you think that you just were not on the level that you thought you were for the LCS, and like the last couple of weeks has been about catching up to sort of the other top laners in the league? Or do you think it's like you were on that level, because you seem to have a low opinion of the top laners previously, and you just weren't able to, for some reason, reach your potential, or like, I don't know if it was nerves or something, but something was causing you to play below where you would expect to be at?
Yeah, so a really good question. Again, just kind of asking, overall, does Fudge think that, is NA maybe a little bit better than he expected? Did he maybe start out a little bit slow? Or just what exactly was going on? You talked all this trash. Now explain yourself. And I'm glad that Travis is asking the questions like this, because, this is what a lot of people are wondering, and a lot of people want to hear this. This is just a really good question. It's going to give us some big insight into what's going on in Fudge's mind right now, but also how he is as a person. Is he handling this well? Is he, a big jokester, memester? Is he a good trash talker? Or is he, maybe never going to trash talk ever again because he sees what the backlash can be like?
No, I think that was my level, and I do think that obviously I over-exaggerated when I say how bad the top laners were, but I still do think that they aren't that good, right? We're in NA. We are a worse region than the other major regions. And
so a lot of people are going to take that as like LCS flame, but I do think that is a good mindset to have. When the LCS is having this poor track record of, not really doing well internationally, kind of, just not having the good results, and just kind of, the last few years, you can't really argue in either way. They've taken a step back from the three other major regions. So yes, you could see this as like LCS flame, him saying we're not as good as the other regions, but I love this attitude, honestly, him saying that we are not as good as other regions. So if you want to be good, you need to dominate North America. You need to think everyone here sucks, because everywhere else in the world, they look at NA and say that we suck, and when they play us, they beat us easy, and we can't get out of groups. Our number one seed went 0-6 at Worlds last year. So again, to be good, to be where Cloud9 wants to be, you need to think they suck. You need to think you're way better than them. So I do love that attitude and mindset. And yes, Fudge isn't quite there yet. He's obviously not at a point where everyone else sucks compared to him. But if you take the mindset of, I need to think that everyone sucks, I need to believe everyone sucks, and I need to practice and play until I get to the point where everyone sucks, I think that's the mindset of someone who has a chance to be great. So I do like to hear that from Fudge.
And I think that I myself don't think highly of myself either. It's sort of like a thing where, like, I think everyone's bad, including myself. So,
and honestly, that is another thing that I love to hear. Sometimes you see young players coming up and they get a little bit of an ego. I mean, we were just talking about RJS the other day, how Double have said that, you know, he's telling everybody how good he is. He's telling everybody he's coming to take your spot. He's telling everybody he's the best player not in the LCS. And I think he's had a little bit of a wake-up call so far in the LCS, and that's not a great mindset for improving and getting better over time. But if Fudge is really telling himself that he sucks and we all suck and we're in NA and we need to get better and practice and grind and keep getting better, then that's an awesome attitude. That is an attitude of a guy, again, who is going to hopefully progress and develop over the next coming split, the next coming year, the next several couple of years. And again, because obviously right now he's not at a point where he is doing good enough. He is not performing well so far for Cloud9, but it is very, very early. We're 1 week into the official LCS season now. Now, yes, they did get to play 17 games in the lock-in tournament, so really he's like 20 games into his stint with Cloud9, but we are seeing some progress. I mean, Fudge right now at this moment is way better than the first game we saw with him on Cloud9. I hope he's going to continue to get more comfortable, continue to develop, but I love the guy with the mindset and attitude that I suck rather than I'm super good and I'm just going to, you know, walk into here and dominate and I don't need to continue to work and get better and all that stuff, because that's a dangerous mindset. But the mindset of I suck, that's somebody who can be dangerous. So I love this interview from Fudge so far. A lot of good things that I'm hearing.
I do think that it was mainly just my level. I wasn't really like an underperformance, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that slowly it'll get better, and I think it has gotten better, like a lot better. Going through the lock-in tournament, because we played like 17 games or something. It was like a full split almost.
Right.
And it feels like I had a lot of like sample size to like work on in terms of like reviewing and stuff. So yeah.
And my final takeaway from that little clip, I mean, this is the clip I wanted to show, is that Fudge says he didn't underperform in the lock-in tournament. Fudge says how I played, that's how good I am right now. That's what you get. You know, a lot of people were saying, yeah, like Travis asked, did you have nerves? Is it fright? Is there, you know, something going on where you think you're better than that? And Fudge is being honest. Like, I mean, that's hard to say. That's hard for somebody to play that bad, not even that bad, to play bad and then admit that I'm not better than that. I hope to get better than that, and I'm working on it, and I'm practicing. But what you see is that's just how good I am. That's what I do consistently, and that's hard to admit, and that's scary to admit. And Fudge being that open with Travis and with the League of Legends community is pretty crazy. And again, I think that is a great look. If he knows that, you know, if he felt like he was underperforming, that sucks. And yeah, you hope you can get your best performance out. But if he's able to get his very best out there, I mean, that's good at least. At least he's not having those nerves and fright and stuff. But man, he needs to get it up. You know, I would expect him to say that he underperformed, but no, for him to say that he performed how he usually does, I mean, it's good in some ways and it's bad in some ways, but I did at least think that was interesting. I mean, so far with the Cloud9 team in the LCS split, they are 3-0, and Fudge has looked better in the LCS split so far than he did look in the lock-in tournament. But that's where I'm getting to the point. But they have had a very, very weak schedule to start the season. They have played Golden Guardians, who is, you know, they're maybe better than people expected, but they're still a bottom-ish team. And he got to play Jackson to Camille, big counter pick. You know, Niles went 0-7. So Fudge did have a good game here. But again, Cloud9 is having to pick Galio and Twisted Fate and stuff like this, and even Talia to cover top lane a lot. And they are really, you know, helping out Fudge. They know he's kind of starting slow. They know he's struggling a little bit. They know they need to kind of cover him up a little bit. And they're doing what they need to do. Cloud9's a great team. They're intelligent. They always have pretty good drafts and stuff, and they play a good play style. But again, in this game, one of the best teams in the league playing one of the worst teams in the league. Fudge getting Jackson to Camille, you know, it's hard to take too much away from that. Same thing with this game. We coming into the season, I didn't think TSM was going to be one of the worst teams in the league, but so far they're looking like one of the worst teams in the league. Hooney looking like one of the worst top laners in the league. So again, one of the best teams in the league against one of the worst. And again, another Jax into Camille where he goes 5-1-6. Again, he does a very, very good job. He does what he needs to do, but I'm not really taking too much away from that. I wouldn't say this was like a huge challenge or a super, super impressive game from him or Cloud9. And then they get to play against Immortals. And yes, he's playing against Revenge, who had that very, very good first game on the Aurelia where he killed Alfari and stuff like that. People were getting really hyped up and excited, but Revenge maybe didn't look so hot in this one. I know people were really, really kind of flaming Revenge after this game. But again, Cloud9, one of the best teams in the league, playing against Immortals, one of the worst teams in the league. Yes, Fudge looks good, 2-0-8, but again, this is mostly doing what you're supposed to do. So yes, so far so good in the LCS season for Cloud9. They're 3-0. Fudge, he's had 3 solid games so far, but I think this week will be much more telling of what level Cloud9 is at and what level Fudge is at. They're playing Evil Geniuses, who is at least considered a top 4 team. People don't really know exactly how to rate them. Are they as good as 100 Thieves? Yes, they had a big lead against 100 Thieves, but they threw. Can they consistently play on the level of 100 Thieves, Cloud9, Team Liquid? Or maybe they a little bit tier below. Who knows? They also play 100 Thieves, who we know has been a very, very solid team to start the season. They obviously took Cloud9 to Game 5 during the lock-in tournament, and then they have FlyQuest, who they beat TSM. They're maybe a middle-of-the-pack team. It'll still be better than, I think, Immortals, Golden Guardians, and Cloud9 and TSM in the first week. So, yes, Fudge is doing good so far. Cloud9 is doing good so far. But, man, their schedule was one of the weakest in the league to start the season. So this week 2 will be much more telling. And after this second week, I think we'll be much more accurately be able to evaluate Cloud9 as a whole. I do think they're one of the best teams. I'm not saying they're going to do worse or anything. But I think Fudge could have a little bit worse of a week this week. If Fudge has a good week this week, then I'm going to be willing to start saying that, yeah, Fudge is really improving a lot and he's looking good. But if he has a shaky week this week, then it's kind of back to where we were before. But again, Fudge saying that he's not done trash talking. He still thinks NA top laners suck, but he just thinks he sucks too, and everybody needs to get a lot better. So that's pretty funny. It's good to hear from him. He's doing well. He said he's seen all the flame on Twitter and Reddit and stuff. He's not checking Reddit too much, but he sees it all on Twitter, and he says, he deserved it. He was trash talking people. People can trash talk him back. He seems like a lighthearted, fun dude who's just trying to play some League of Legends. Trash talk, have some fun, and that trash talking stuff is super, super needed in the scene. It gets fans engaged, it gets people involved, it gets people excited to see whether you're gonna do good or bad, and meme either way. And so far, I didn't really know how to feel about Fudge coming in, but so far, he seems like a cool guy, and I'm definitely rooting for him. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how he's able to develop over the course of the season. Hopefully, he's able to improve. If he's not, that's going to be an issue for Cloud9, but we'll see. We'll see. He's a young kid who has just a ton of time, a ton of talent, and we'll see how it goes. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. It helps me out so much the YouTube algorithm, and I would appreciate it a ton. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you think Fudge should keep trash talking? Do you think he should shut his mouth and have his play back it up? Do you guys like the trash talk? Do you think it's dumb? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe to stay updated on my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.